In this short video, I'd like to take you through a scenario where we leverage Red Hat Ansible Automation Platform in conjunction with Red Hat Satellite to apply an SCAP policy to one or more servers. In this scenario, the first thing I'm going to do is take you through a scenario where I just want to create one PCI compliance policy, incorporate that into an Ansible automation playbook, and use that to generate a PCI compliance report on a Linux operating system. From there, I'm going to expand the scenario and define a DISA-STIG policy, also run that through the Ansible automation platform, and the end result being to create a DISA-STIG report, basically conveying all of the challenges that need to be remediated on a server that does not meet the DISA-STIG policy. Prior to running the Ansible playbook that does the SCAP analysis, we need to create a policy inside of Red Hat Satellite that allows the playbook to do the functionality it needs to do. I've taken the liberty of already creating the policy inside of Satellite, but I'll show you what the policy looks like. The policy name is PCI Compliance, and if you look at this policy, you can see that it has deployment options of manual, and it has the SCAP content of rel 7, and it has a profile named PCI-DSS control baseline for Red Hat Enterprise Linux. I've also set up a schedule where I run it weekly on Monday, and that's about it. The next step in this demonstration is I'd like to convey how Ansible Tower, Ansible playbooks can be used to run the OpenSCAP configure step. Inside of Ansible Tower, I've already configured several things. For example, I've created a project which is called the Automated Project, and this project leverages a GitHub repository where it stores all of the playbooks that we're going to use in this demonstration. I've also created several inventories which point to the various machines that are controlled by Red Hat Satellite. And I have some credentials which allow me to access those machines. For example, the satellite credentials can be used to access that. I've also created a template, and if I take a look at that template, this particular template is used to run a specific playbook. So you can see that I have a job type of run. The inventory it's going to use is the rel 7 development inventory. I'm pointing to the automated management project. And the playbook is called Configure OpenSCAP. Notice also that I've already attached the various credentials I need, for example, the satellite credential and the workshop credential. And I've included some extra host variables. So in this case, you can see that it's going to work on just one node. And with that, I can go ahead and launch this particular playbook, this template, and it will go off and perform the steps of configuring the OpenSCAP environment. Now this particular playbook takes a little bit of time, so I'll return when it's finished. You can see that the Ansible playbook is finished running, and the byproduct of this playbook is it should have generated a compliance report inside of Red Hat Satellite that we can now go view. So let's jump over into Satellite and take a look. If we click on Hosts and Reports, we should see that there's one report that's available for this particular node, the node 1. And if we click on Full Report, it will go off and generate all of the information that the Ansible playbook was able to create regarding this particular node. When the report is finally displayed, you can scroll down and you can see all of the areas where it either passed or failed in its check. And if you wanted to, you can filter the information. For example, let's say I just want to see everything that has failed. If I uncheck all the other boxes, you'll see as I scroll down, there's a series of particular checks that failed. You can drill into individual checks and you can see exactly why it failed. And then if you so choose, you can actually generate or show, in this example, show the Ansible snippet, Ansible snippet that would allow you to basically create a playbook and run that playbook to remediate this particular issue. So being able to see this report has been super helpful in understanding how to correct or remediate the challenges with a system that really needs to be hardened. What I'd like to do is add one more scenario to this demonstration. And for this, I've created a second policy which is going to check for STIG compliance. And again, the STIG compliance policy is very similar to the other policy. The main difference is that in this case, I've taken the profile for DISA-STIG and put it into my policy. I've also made a slight modification to my Open SCAP configure template. What I did is I changed my template so that instead of just one host, it's now going to get all the hosts. And in this case, it's going to run a PCI compliance and a STIG compliance check against all the hosts. So to do that, I click the launch button. And again, this job is going to run for several minutes, so I will return when it's finished. You can see that the Open SCAP configure step is now finished, which means I should be able to go back into Red Hat Satellite and look at any of the additional reports that have been generated. And yep, sure enough, it has now generated a report for every node that is in the system. And specifically, you can see that it's created both a STIG compliance report and a PCI compliance report for the 3 nodes that are part of our RHEL 7 environment. And of course, it has the original PCI compliance report that was generated several minutes ago. So again, with this, you can run the report. You can see exactly what needs to be done to harden your system, and you can move on knowing that your system is safe and secure. And these particular reports can be run on a periodic basis so that if you want to make sure that no one has gone in and changed your server, for example, maybe opened up a port in your firewall or changed some type of root password inappropriately, you can run that report and see it on a regular basis to see what needs to be changed. So that concludes this demonstration. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your Red Hat sales representative. If you'd like to learn more about the products seen in this video, please refer to one of these websites. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you found it useful.